HorrorDeconstruction.
What's up, everybody? It's the HorrorDeconstruction. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, but mostly on YouTube. Give us a like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell icon. Hit that subscribe button. Let people know about the show nobody knows about. With your host, Komp and
Nebraska.
Today's film is
Rubber, 2010.
Rubber 2010. An homicidal car tire, discovering it has destructive psionic power, psionic, sets its sight on a desert town once a mysterious woman becomes its obsession. Directed and written by Quentin Dupieux, stars Steven Spinella, Roxanne Mesquita, and Wings Hauser. So, Danny, why did you pick Rubber?
I have always been curious to see this movie, and I like the premise of it.
Yeah.
That's it.
This seems like a film that would be up your alley. In fact, this seems like something that you would like. You would spend hours writing on something like this, or years even writing something like this. So,
we'll talk.
Yeah. So this is a quasi horror film, but it's also satirical. Definitely like an art house weird film.
I think it like barely scrapes into horror. Like,
yeah, it's got gore in it. It's got graphic gore, so I guess it goes that way.
Yeah.
But it's certainly like from the outset, like from HorrorDeconstruction, like I wouldn't be like, hey, everybody from Horror who listens to our show, go watch this movie. Like I'm not going saying that because this is certainly, this is even more absurdist level than Lynch. You know what I mean? Like, because at least Lynch, you can have some weird horror shit in it. This doesn't seem.
I don't consider Lynch like satire at all. This is just like.
No, I'm saying absurdism.
This is all like fourth wall shit.
No, but I mean absurdism, like weirdness, just for the sake of weirdness. So why don't we get into the story of how does this movie start out?
Well, it starts out with a sheriff telling a bunch of people about how things happen for no reason in movies and stuff. And we don't know why, but immediately you know that it's breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, that's Steven Spinella as Lieutenant Chad. He's obviously
I recognized him.
Me too. He's obviously the best character in the film because he's the one that's kind of well, a lot. I think everybody is pretty much aware.
I like the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, that's Wings Hauser. He reminds me somewhat of who was that actor that was in Hobo with a Shotgun? Did we ever even review that movie?
Yeah. He's also in Blade Runner.
Rutger Hauer.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of reminds. Well, he looks like him now, but Wings Hauser is certainly an actor that has been in lots of films. He's just one of those sort of old tough guy Hollywood actor types of fellows. And so it was nice to see him in here. But anyway, so the whole, you can't get into Tire because there's not like a monumental amount of things that happens in Tire. I mean, sorry, in Rubber.
Rubber.
Tire's the French version of the movie. No, but it's not. It's
Is it really?
No. But the movie is like there's not a lot that happens, but at the same time, a lot happens in this film. So it's strange to sort of explain. I can't explain the movie. But
I really enjoy like one or two scenes, I have to say. But as a whole, yeah, it's like a very weird movie.
Is it a weird movie that didn't speak to you? Like you didn't.
It's just like a little pretentious. Probably not a little, a lot pretentious.
And it's
weird. I don't know. Like I did like certain stuff. Like the mannequin scene was amazing.
You wanted to like it more than you thought you would, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think what happened is the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, and then I saw it. So I was watching it for this, and I was like, wow, this is pretty like smart the way that it's done, but I think it overextends its stay. If that makes any sense, It's just that. Because when I first saw it, I didn't make any...
Also, you never really get an explanation about, like, a lot of stuff. So, I mean, which I guess no reason, they say at the beginning, but it's kind of like, well, give us a little bit of a reason.
Yeah, they cover their bases in the opening with the no reason opening monologue, which is smart because they're just basically covering their bases. And it does make sense. And then it's also just making shit about why did JFK's head explode? Why the pianist who's running away from Nazis? It's that kind of thing. Right. It's an interesting film, and I appreciate it.
Would you be friends with the Tire?
I'd steer fucking clear out of the city with that shit. But I do like that it has.
You wouldn't be able. Oh, I get the pun though. You'd steer clear.
I do think that it's like there's a I mean what can I say about this? So I think the film has this weird abstract absurdist level to it, and I think what happens is that Quentin, because I haven't seen any of his other films. There's another movie that he came out with called Deerskin, which is about a guy who's obsessed with his deerskin jacket, and he wants that jacket to be the only jacket in the world, so he's killing people that wear jackets.
I kind of
So
like that idea.
he seems to be, and I don't want to belittle anything that like that guy directs. I haven't seen anything else he's done, so I can't really. But I don't want to categorize him.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But he sort of seems like one of those Adult Swim type of filmmakers.
Some of the stuff on Adult Swim is great, but I kind of know what you
No, it
mean.
is. Yeah. So, but I didn't mean to take away. I mean like that style of absurdist comedy. So,
Yeah.
like you have like obviously Tim and Eric, great show, great job, or you also have the Heart She
They're amazing.
Hollers or whatever. So shows like that, which are weird, but they work because they have 15-minute run times. They don't run really
Right.
long, those shows. So I think what happened with Rubber, I don't know why I fucking obsessed with calling this movie Tire, but with Rubber, it's like it seems to like overextend itself, but it works on some levels whenever they have the audience that is watching
I
the
do
film
actually
with
like
us.
the ending too. I have to say that actually felt like a horror movie at the end.
Yeah, when it turns into a tricycle and then it starts gathering up all the tires to attack Hollywood
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
That was cool. Like,
And it's
they're
funny
gonna,
if
like,
you've
destroy
ever
the whole world.
if you've ever seen some of those sort of like videos online of like accidents or shit like that, with it's like random tires will leap off of cars and just hit people. It really looks like this movie. It's very scary. Although the
Yeah.
tire doesn't run over anybody because the tire's not that heavy.
Do you think he was like making a statement against mainstream movies when they all went to Hollywood at the end?
I think so. I think there's a lot of things going on with this film that you can't sort of pin down in one way. But let's kind of get into it where there's other characters. Like, let's talk about the audience that is watching the quote unquote film. There's this weird accountant that I've seen. I think Steve Plotnick is the actor that I've seen in a bunch of films before. And he's around. I guess it feels like there's a story that's being. This feels like we're watching a segment of something that's bigger. Obviously, that's what it is. Like, because we're watching a movie, but it's happening in real time, and it feels like a fictional universe that's aware of itself.
And like some of the people in there don't know they're in a movie, and some do.
Right. There's a play like that. I forget the name of it, but my friend was obsessed with it. I think it's a play about 7 characters that are aware that they're in a play.
Well, there's a movie coming out. With who's the guy from? Not the guy who directed Get Out, but the other guy that is like his comedy partner.
Oh, I know. Oh, the Schmigadoon, the musical movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I see where the people are aware that they're in a musical.
I
Correct.
just saw
I
like, a
mean,
commercial for this.
yeah, this isn't like a new concept. Like, this has been around for a long time. But this certainly is a film that takes it to another level completely, because
Yeah.
it is like it is a filmed movie, and it's shot really well actually. It looks really good. It's framed really well, because there's a lot of movies that
Good
probably try
effects
to.
for the tires too.
Yeah. I was trying to
Right.
figure out how they did the tire rolling by itself, because I was impressed by that, but I'm sure it's probably like easy.
Well, I mean, a lot of times you don't see the bottom, so I'm guessing there's probably a track under it, or like maybe they were pulling it with a string or something.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
I'm
know.
just trying to I'm just trying to figure out the mechanic of the actual tire rotating.
I feel like
'cause if
there
it
was
was-
probably some kind of track that like pushed it slowly or something. I don't.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a very easy explanation of why that is on YouTube somewhere. But I think that the fascinating thing is like all the characters that surround the film, like the people that are doing the run-on dialogue and explaining or giving their theories and ideas during the movie, which is pretty funny. But then they kill all those characters off, which is strange. But there's a part where the girl gets naked and to take a bath, and there's like guys commenting on her body, and I was just like, holy shit! And the older lady who's like, she probably gonna give him a blow job, that part, and it's just like holy shit. And the 2 young girls that are offended by it, it's like funny because it's like
Yeah.
they're obviously criticizing or caricaturing the audience ourselves who's watching this film.
Right.
But it's such a strange movie that you can't fucking categorize it, because they say it's a horror. Like, this isn't a horror movie. This
It's
is just,
definitely not a horror, really. It's like a satire. movie, like about like movie industry, in my opinion. But
Yeah, yeah.
and it is good, and I like the idea of it, but like it definitely is too long, even though it's only
Right.
80 minutes or something. It's definitely
Yeah, it's
too
an
long,
hour and 20
and
minutes probably.
like it should have been like a short film, like 40 minutes or something.
Yeah,
And
but I like that
it's
the
like
actors were
kind of pretentious, I would say.
I like that the actors were dedicated to it. Like they were
Yeah.
like they weren't they didn't half-ass this movie. Like I think this is the
I
type of
like
movie that
the guy that gives them the food and
the accountant
whatever,
guy.
the guy who then knowingly poisons himself.
Right.
It's like really
I
funny
think
to me.
I think he just didn't know what he was doing and just said fuck it because he was too busy in conversation with Wings Hauser in the wheelchair and stuff like that.
No, but he knew
But
the food was poison. He was trying to get him to eat it.
yeah. But I think he just forgot and just started eating himself, which is like funny.
Okay.
Um, I like you said, like I don't know how many times we can repeat it over and over. That's like too long for its stay. But it's not like it's not a horrible movie. I don't think so.
I don't
It's
think
just
so at all.
that
I
I
think it's
get
fine.
like I get it that it's a tire running around killing people, and that's kind of the joke. So it's not something where the length of it is like offensively bad, but
Yeah.
you are
It
aware
didn't
of
have to
it.
be a joke, though. I mean, I'm fine with it being a joke, but like a movie like Christine, for example, is a real horror movie. It's about a
Yeah,
fucking
right.
car, you know? Like, there's all kinds of movies like that.
Yeah, and that one
So,
has stuff that it has even stuff that makes even less sense than Christine, like a guy
yeah.
running straight down a street as opposed to making a left or a right when Christine's chasing him. That kind of shit.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter
So,
anyway, because Christine could smoosh herself into, like, alleys and shit.
that's true. But so yeah, I don't know what else we can really say about this one. It's probably like the shortest episode of all time. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I wonder what Quentin was because you think it feels pretentious, and I think when I first saw it, I felt that, but on the second time, I didn't. I think it's just
Yeah, I
because they're.
always think those breaking the fourth wall type of things kind of like risk being pretentious. Like
I
it's
get what you're
always like
saying.
right
No,
on that
I get what
line.
you're saying. That we're smarter than the audience, kind of thing. That you're saying. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're
It's
saying. Okay,
like
and that.
it always runs the risk. Even in that game, that movie, Funny Games, like there's like parts where it's like, it's a little pretentious. Like I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, no, that's definitely fucking pretentious for sure. Like funny game. Although that was
I
a good
love that
movie, but
movie. Like
no, it's a
I've
great
never seen
movie.
the
Yeah,
American remake, but apparently it's like a shot for
it's the
shot.
same movie, same director, same shots, so
Why
it
would
doesn't
they
matter.
even do it then?
They did it with Psycho, and that was just a stupid to an experiment. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So I think that I think it's pretentious. Just like you're saying, it's pretentious. I don't think it's that pretentious. I get what the guy was doing. Not saying that you didn't get it, but I think I get what he's doing. That
Yeah,
it's
I
just
get it. I just like
it's. I think
I
it's
don't know.
making fun of. I think it's making fun of pretentious high art movies
Yeah, well,
by
I
sort
was
of
happy
reenacting
when
it.
they went to Hollywood because Hollywood probably is the worst thing for the film industry in a way, like strangely. Even though I like Hollywood movies, but there is a lot of like terrible shit pumped out for like huge budgets
Yeah,
instead of
so there was a running
better stuff.
commentary that I think that the director thought he was making some sort of leaps and bounds and like some sort of genius commentary. Although I don't think there's anything sort of new that you learn from this film. I do like that it sort of owns what it is and says from the beginning that it's a full of shit movie,
Yeah,
and you're gonna sit down and watch it. I did like the sheriff is great. He's fantastic.
I really like the lady too,
The brunette.
the one that the tire is obsessed with because she's like so awkwardly acting, like doing a bad actor of the
Oh, when
mannequin.
she's doing the voiceover for the
It's
mannequin
like
for
a good
the tire.
actor acting as a bad actor.
It's weird because we're not like I don't think we're actually even spoiling the movie just as we talk about it because it's such a bizarre film.
I didn't know it was
Then
going
when
to
you
go there at all. Like, I thought it was a movie. I just thought it was a movie about a tire that kills people. I had no idea it was like a commentary sort of thing.
Yeah, well, because I gotta wonder. Well, I guess you could have gone that route where people go, like talking like a regular dramatized film, and people going, "What the fuck's going on?" Then I think it would probably be a straight up comedy. But
Yeah.
this is a little bit sort of there is something deeper to this, and you can tell that there's something deeper to it. It's not like all this effort of having these side characters is not there for no
I
reason.
just
It's
wish
just
the ratio was different because it's like 75% like commentary on or like fourth wall breaking and only like 25% like actual stuff happening.
Yeah, I think
So
what this is,
I
I
don't know.
think this is a type of film that it could have been a play. You know what I mean? If they had the effect, it
Right.
seems like it could have been a weird ass like monologue play. Um, I think it's alright. I'm speaking of Tim and Eric, like Eric Wareheim, who's one of the Tim and Eric guys, the guy who's like a director himself. He's in
Yeah,
his
his
other
videos
movie.
are fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's got great music videos. He's in Quentin's movie called Wrong Cops, which came after. So I assume like obviously they're on the same wavelength. So that's
Yeah.
pretty accurate on this type of film and
I
how
mean,
it's
Tim and
done.
Eric to me are
So
like fucking geniuses. I think they're
they're
amazing.
pretty funny. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a absurd film. Which it's not a bad movie, and it's not a great movie by any chance. But it is. I think parts of it are entertaining. Um,
I'm happy I watched it. I don't
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
regret watching it, you know?
So it feels to be like a middling review for this movie. You know, it's not like it's not good
Yeah.
or bad. Like I think it's got better
I guess
parts
it
than it
depends
does
what you're
worse
looking
parts.
for. If you're looking for a fucking
Right.
horror movie, don't watch this movie. If you're
Yeah,
looking for
yeah.
like a commentary, kind of borderline pretentious sort of thing like that, then go for
Yeah.
it. Like it's good.
It's weird because it's not like I'm not saying that this movie is bad at all. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with the film besides the running time. I think that
So
it's for a certain particular audience. And I think that the particular audience is much more arrogant than the film is itself. You know what I mean? I think that it's for one of like a snobby crowd. I don't know if it's insulting the people to watch it, but I think it's for those type of people that are like I remember I went to this house party, right? And they threw on this Netflix show, like this comedy series. And
oh,
I'm
the
not gonna
girl
name
is
the
in
name of it.
Shaden, that amazing
Oh, is she?
French movie.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess she's
I'm
French.
reading it
Yeah,
on her
she's
wiki right now.
she's probably French. So yeah,
She
Roxanne
is
Mesquite.
she is French, yeah.
But I think when I
That's a
saw
good
this
movie,
show,
everybody.
yeah, the shading's great. But I saw this. I was sitting there with this crowd of people, and it's like the worst sort of like comedy. Like it's trying to be awkward. Like I like awkward comedy, but it was trying to be all this awkward comedy. And the guy who suggested was like, like watching it, going, "Oh man, this is great." And like half of the room was like, "What is this shit?"
Wait, you talking about
So
this movie right now?
no, no, no. I'm trying to finish the story that I was saying, where this
Uh,
type of film is for a certain crowd of people. Just like when I went to go see to this house party, and they decided to make it a movie party, and they put on this Netflix series, which just got a second season. I don't want to name the show, and they're like everybody was like, "Oh, this is hilarious," and I'm just like sitting there going, "Wow, this is like not my type of like comedy." So
yeah.
this is a polarizing type of film where either you get it or you don't, and sometimes you do get it, but then you're like, okay, I get it for like 5 seconds, but it's not making me laugh
What's
over
the
and over.
dude Wes Anderson? Steve
Yeah, right,
Zissou,
right,
you
right,
know
right,
that movie
right.
Steve Zissou or whatever with
Yeah, I
Bill
was gonna
Murray,
bring
where
up
they're
it.
like on a boat or something like
Right, right.
I
I was
remember
gonna.
seeing that years ago and like I liked it, but like my mom actually went with me because my mom and my uncle were like hanging and they just came with me and they did not understand it at all. Like they had no
I was
idea what the
gonna.
humor was.
I was gonna bring up that this film has sort of Wes Anderson quality to it, like that sort of deadpan, dry humor. But
Yeah,
that's a
but
funny
I think
story
there is
because
like a generational gap with certain
yeah,
types of
yeah.
humor, like for
It was
real.
funny because my mom, my sister and my brother-in-law took my mom to go see what was those Adam Sandler movies, Grown Ups Part Two.
Yeah, I never saw either of those. How did she not like it? Probably.
Of course, my sister and my brother-in-law loved it because I don't. I
Yeah.
guess you got to be like Adam Sandler movies are very different from the '90s than they are now. But
Right.
they saw it, and my mother thought it was the worst movie she had ever seen of all time. Every time I would bring it up, it was like she would get upset at me for reminding her that she saw that movie. And I would be
Yeah.
like, I was like, "Oh, that's a good movie." She would just be so pissed because, like, so it's like it's
Nothing's
for
ever
a
gonna
certain.
beat Billy Madison.
Absolutely, thank you for that's fucking praise. There's no question about Billy Madison's greatest movie
Billy
ever.
Madison, Happy Gilmore. That's like peak Sandler. I love it.
Yeah, I say the two for me. My two favorite '90s comedies are Billy Madison and what's that other? I don't even smoke weed like that, but Half Baked.
Oh, Half
Like
Baked is
if
great though. Yeah.
those are fucking brilliant, and by the same director, which is genius.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Tara Strong. or Tara something or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, this is a film for a certain type of crowd, a certain type of humor. So it's not a horrible movie, but
Maybe
it's
this is a film for people who would smoke a joint out of a cigarette holder.
yeah, I think fucking hallucinogens will help. I'm not saying you should use hallucinogens, but this is this is a movie that would only help that experience because Tamara Davis did Half Baked, but I'd rather suggest you see Billy Madison or Half Baked before you see this film if you want like a comedy experience. This is for a certain crowd of people. It has gore in it, and the gore effects are actually quite good, which add to it.
I enjoyed that actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of you can do a lot like with effects, like the head. It has good head explosions, good explosions all around. So that's really cool. So, what rating would you give? I'll do the rating first. I would give this a 5.5. 5.5 out of 10. Commenting on a poor young woman who's nude in the shower and offending the young girls behind you, but not the older lady.
I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. Rigging up a mannequin to try and trick and having like really ridiculous dialogue to try to trick a sentient tire into blowing itself up, even though you could just simply blow it up without tricking it to do it itself.
That was actually a very funny scene. So I think that I do think that the director knows what he's doing, but he wanted to really make it as, like you say, a little bit more pretentious as possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, Danny, what's the final word?
Mosquitoes.
The HorrorDeconstruction.